You know what's more satisfying than getting a pistol kill in a game? Getting a 3DG pistol kill on a 3DG hater. Sup Tube? Welcome to Low Guido's Chop Shop, the second best Geo Blaster channel on the tubes. And everyone in the comment section is like, do a review on the new 3DG G17. And then everyone's like, oh, I can't believe you affiliated with Tac Toys, that's pitiful. Well, it is what it is. I mean, where else are you going to get one? Either way, here we are. 3DG Tac Toys G17 Revision 3. Now I'm going to call it Revision 3. They call it V3. I hate that people call things V2 and V3 because there's gearboxes that are V2 and V3, and calling a revision V2, V3, V4, whatever, just gets confusing. You end up with something that's like, you know, it's a Scar V2 with a V3 gearbox in a V2 shell V3, V4, V5. People are confused. I mean, I know, sort of, like, yeah. Either way, a lot of people get confused, and it's confusing, and I don't like it too much, so I'm just going to call it Revision 3. Let's go with that. Alright, let's see what Revision 3 has in the box. There is a very comprehensive safety guidelines and warranty sheet. Instructions. Nice. There's a Tac Toys patch. I don't know if everyone's going to get that, or if they're just, sometimes they send me things because, you know, because they like me, I guess. Alright, here we are. G17 Gen 4. I gotta say, like, a lot of people, if I can get it out of the box, a lot of people really hated on this blaster when it came out, the Revision 2. Just gonna get all the bits that I need out. Alright. A lot of people hated on the Revision 2 of this, but when you compare what's out there in electric, there is nothing as good as this, really, in terms of quality. Like the build quality, the molding, everything is really beautiful. If you look at the SKD G18, the SKD is, or even the newer model, the Beretta, which is the same, the M92, which is the same box with a different shell. The quality is nowhere near as good as this, and people can't seem to get their head around that, and they're like, why would I pay $250 for... people also seem to forget that not that long ago we were paying $250 for really crappy plastic M4s that were almost guaranteed to be broken out of the box. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think... after I'd fixed the issues on the Revision 2, I actually liked this. Just to get my point across here, I have one of the leading GBB G17s here, and so look at this is the 3DG. Look at the details on everything. We got nice logos, we got this nice slide. All the castings and everything are very precise. The trigger is very firm. See when I'm pushing that trigger? See how firm that is? It's nice. Everything sits together nicely. Now let me bring in one of the leading GBBs. There's no detail on the slide at all. There's no logos. This stippling, if that's what you want to call it, just doesn't feel right. I don't know if you can pick this up on camera at all, but look at this trigger as well. It's all loosey-goosey, it's sloppy, it actually moves up and down, left and right. it's very difficult, I think, to tell on camera, but let's see if I can get these two side by side here. The quality is just so much nicer on this. I mean, I know that the 3DG isn't GBB and it never will be. It can't compare to GBB, it just can't, in terms of feel and all that sort of thing. But build quality, I think the 3DG is really nice quality. See all this texture? It's really nice texture, whereas here it's just sort of smooth. It's not really, I don't know, the pins look kind of crusty. I don't know, it just, the 3DG just looks nicer, my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this. It is what it is. I think it's a nicer quality build. I like this. I mean, you can't really compare it with a GBB because it's electric and it's not gas. So like, they're two different animals. So we can't really compare that. But like in terms of the quality of everything, all like the build and everything, it really is amazing. So I think there's a lot of haters out there just hating because they want to hate. Haters gonna hate. Either way, I think build quality wise, this is a really nice looking piece. Now, one of the issues from the second revision is that the mag had issues with this feeding lip, and if you look at my video that I did on fixing the mag, you'll find how to fix that. It was quite an easy fix once you did it. There was I think the spring in here was a little bit too stiff, and it didn't let the balls get through without potentially chopping them up. Also, a few people had issues with the O-ring in the barrel being too tight or something, and it would potentially break gels as well. So there were a couple of little things you needed to fix up, but then after that, I found it was pretty sweet. Yeah, that feels a lot softer and a lot nicer in operation. Let me see if you can. So you can see that pushes quite easily with very little force, and it's nice and smooth. So I think that whatever issue there was with the operation of that one in the past should be sorted out now. First things first, let's load it up and check the chrono. Oh, phone's blowing up. What's going on? Alright, so I'm going to do the battery and the mag dance. See if they've, well, I guess, I mean, what can you do to improve that one? Not a whole lot. Now, with the previous model, I found it was easiest to put the battery in with the cable towards the back, and then sort of plug it in this way, and then run the connector sort of down the side a little bit, and then you got to be careful not to jam up this spring when you're putting it in. But that's how I worked it last time with the older version, revision 2. No, didn't quite get it in. Alright, that worked. Let's get some standard milkies in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load it up. Then I'll put it into the blaster, and then I'll load another mag, because you sort of got to prime it up like that, because when you put the gels into the mag, when the mag spring releases, it will force all the gels up into the T-piece tube, so to speak. Alright. Alright, so got a few in there. Mag spring is down. One of the things that people had issues with as well was the mag spring. This little piece here, that some people had trouble with it not releasing when they put it in. So that has definitely released. I heard it go click, and that should have forced quite a few gels up into there. I'm just going to release the mag, grab any loose ones. So there's only 3 didn't make it into that T-piece from that whole mag. And I'm going to repeat the process again, fill this up again. And if it's your first mag, you should probably do that because if the T-piece is empty, then yeah, you're just going to have a very short mag the first time. Once you've used it once, you will have to, you won't have to do that again, but just that first time after you've used it. I'll tell you one thing that I don't like about that system is that I like to empty all the gels out after I've finished a game so that they don't dry up inside the T-piece. It makes it really difficult to do that. You sort of got to like force them out, but anyway, there we go, ready for chrono. Alright, here we go. Can you see those numbers? 183 there was a couple of 160s. 160. I think that one broke. 178. 230, I think that one was a broken one too, maybe. 165. 162. 164. 183. 188. 180, and I'm locked back. One of the things that has allegedly been changed in this revision 3 is that it's got a stronger spring. So there was some 180s in there. Oh, I think the size of your gel will matter as well. I was just using regular Milkies there. I didn't have I didn't filter anything or anything like that. I might try some filtered ones just for giggles. Let's try some filtered ones. Alright, I got some filtered AT greens, Ozgel Armatex. Let's see how they do, just for, 184, 208, 184, 160, 183, 184, 186, 184, 184. That one, I think I bounced that one off the side, that was my bad. 207, 186, 186, 205, 206, and slides locked back. Not a single jam. I think it likes those Armatex. I think it does. Alright, just looking through the list of promised upgrades for the revision 3. Stronger spring to bring FPS up to 180. Well, I think that's true. Seems to have delivered that. So the mag does feel a bit tighter than it used to. Like, it's definitely quite tight in there. It doesn't seem to come out as easily as it did. I don't know. I don't know what the story was in improving that. I never had any issues with that in the first place, but they've apparently improved this spring. What else? Oh, this one as well. That one was a given. I checked that one before. That was the big one for me, really. It was that spring. I never had any issues with anything except for that spring there, and maybe a little bit of rounding of the edges. The edges of the mag seem fairly round. They could probably probably take a little file to that, little needle file, and give it a little bit more of a round. Barrel O-ring replaced with a thinner one. That's in the inside here. Maybe I should take this down. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Now, one of the things that they've mentioned as well, they mentioned that the moulding on the slide had been improved. It does feel a little bit tighter. I don't know what that actually achieved in terms of improvement, but let's see. There's the O-ring. Let's get it out of there. So I know a lot of people were replacing the original one. Oh, dropping pliers. A lot of people were replacing the original one with a thinner one. They now have got this one. Now, I didn't have an issue with the O-ring in my original one, so again, I don't really know, but I'll just measure this briefly. Give it a quick. So it looks like 1.8 millimeters. 1.77, that's a bit tight on there, so about 1.8 millimeters thick, and an OD of about 10.5 maybe. Slightly, I'm just grabbing it there, and I'm at 10.34, so yeah, it falls through at about 10.4. And the ID, it's really hard to measure O-ring sizes because they stretch when you're measuring them. You try not to stretch them. Alright, so at the point that it falls off the vernier, what is the size? 6.7 ID. I don't know if that information is useful to anyone, but nonetheless, there it is. I know a lot of people were talking about the O-ring size of the OG one. Now, I can see in here the spring. I can measure the diameter of the spring for you. It is a 1.3 diameter spring. 1.29, 1.3. Doesn't mean much in terms of its strength, but it does definitely look. Well. I mean, it's popping out 180, so so it's definitely an improved spring. So that's definitely an improvement. Alright, I'm going to knock this pin out. Now, we should be able to get this. Oh wait, hang on. The screw here. Take this screw out. And I'm not going into too much detail about how to tear this down and whatnot, because I mean, you can watch my other video. I'll put a link down to that one as well in the description. Oh, the magnet pulled that slide catch. Made some changes to this. They've added a little inspection window here for lining your tappet plate up, so you make sure that your tappet plates are lined when you're putting the thing together. That's pretty handy, because if it wasn't, you'd break things when you put it back together. The soldering on the circuit board, not great, but better than it was. Slightly improved. They've made an improvement here on that little. It's actually a legacy wheel. It was originally something that would have driven the slide back, but I think the system they use now off the back of the plunger is much better than driving it with a wheel. That would have never worked. Everything I can see here that they said that they were going to improve looks like they've followed through with. Looks like they've improved the issues that the revision 2 had, which was mainly the mag feed, and also people complaining about the FPS. So they fixed the spring up, they fixed the mag up. I think this is good. All right, well, there it is, the improved revision 3 3DG. What can I say? I truly believe that this is the nicest electric pistol on the market. Like, there's nothing that compares to it. I mean, in terms of, say, your blowback, there's nothing that's that crisp or nice. There's nothing that's this good a quality. I mean, you can't really even compare it with the SKD stuff. It's on another level. It's not gas. It never will be. So it's not quite there. But it's for electric. Let's not forget that there are states in Australia where gas is not allowed. And for electric, you are not going to beat this. This is a really good thing, and while there were some teething issues with the first couple, don't forget, I mean, this is a pretty new thing in terms of electric gel blasters. No one's really done this whole realistic slide action and that sort of stuff before. People have tried, but I mean, come on, we've seen the SKD stuff. That slide lag is horrible. Having said that, I still love my SKD Glock with the 14 volts, but it's just not here. It's not quite here yet. Yeah. Oh, don't forget, if you do want to get one of these from Tac Toys, you put the code LOGUIDO in. You'll get 10% off. I think you'll get 10% off the entire store. I think that's hung around since the last video, probably because people were hating on it so bad. So thanks to the haters for 10% discount for life using the LOGUIDO code at Tac Toys. Alright, I think that's it for me. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.